Robert. My mic's about to go off battery, I think. Test. good evening. Evening, everyone. Welcome to the regular meeting of the NYOS School Board. Today is June 23rd, 2026. We have a quorum. This meeting is called to order at 6:05 p.m. This meeting is being conducted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. I would like to offer a special welcome to our guests. Thank you for joining us. You are invited to address the board during the public comment portion of the agenda. However, we do ask that you sign up. To do so, the online link is now closed, but if you would still like to sign up, you may sign up with Jackie, who's to my right. If you wish to speak during public comment, don't forget to sign up. Board members, you have access to the board packet on the board drive. As a reminder, any board member can take anything from consent agenda to the regular board agenda. Next, we will approve the regular agenda for the meeting. Are there any adjustments? And I believe we do have one. We are removing item 5C today, which is the student parent handbook. And so I will entertain a motion to accept the regular agenda as amended. Sharon, do I have a second? Richard, okay. All in favor? Okay, unanimous vote, thank you. Next item is consent agenda, which includes our June minutes from earlier this month, committee reports, and contracts. And I'll entertain a motion to accept those consent agenda items. Hassan, do I have a second?
Second.
Ben, second. All in favor? Okay, unanimous. Thank you. Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. We appreciate the time and commitment our community shows by participating in our meetings. Your voices matter, and this portion of the agenda gives everyone the opportunity to share their thoughts with the board. Do we have any public commenters tonight? Oh, okay. Look on your thing. No, we don't, or we would, oh, Miss Mickey, okay. Miss Mickey, come on up. You have 3 minutes. Thank you.
All right. Good evening. Good evening. Review during this grievance process. The last known safety drill occurred on September 18th, 2025. The next documented drill did not happen until February 25th, 2026. That So do I get my time back? Didn't hear me? Of course. Emergency preparedness cannot
Thank you, Ms. McKee. Next item in new business, 5A, discuss and vote on contracts over $50,000 for 26-27 school year. Looks like we have 4 of them. The first one is Ambassador Services. Dr. Rose, are you speaking on that or?
So we have several contracts that are up beyond 50,000. I'm going to pull those up. The first one is for Ambassador Services. I apologize, I have the consent contracts up. Matthew, do you want to speak to the contracts?
I don't know if this is working again or not. We have 4 contracts that are up that are beyond 50,000. The first one for Ambassador Services, this is for a new nighttime custodial cleaning company. So later in the school year, we opened up a RFP process to select contracted services for nighttime cleaning versus having internal staffing as we had. And so after the RFP review process, this was the contract that met all the requirements for cleaning that was listed in the RFP, as well as the budget that was listed. Candor Consulting is for special education services. We're continuing outsourcing some of our speech language pathology and our LSSP services for the district. Again, this went through an RFP process, and Candor Consulting met all the requirements that were requested by special education to provide the services and met the agenda.
So that's for 2 full-time psychologists and 1 full-time speech therapist.
That's correct. And then the next one listed is for Global Computer Cells. We did an RFP last year. They were awarded the contract. We're doing another refresh for Chromebooks and some teacher devices, as well as some projectors. And so they're continuing with that process. And then speech pathology, again, through an RFP. Again, this contract is over $50,000, but it was lower than what we had budgeted. And Anna's worked with NYOS for several years. And so we felt that it was a good fit to continue, and she beat out the other RFPs that were submitted.
And that will be for speech therapy and speech eval.
Correct.
Questions for Matthew on the contracts? I'll add that we also discussed these in our Financial Operations Committee as well.
Thank you.
Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion to accept these contracts.
So motion?
Hassan, do I have a second? Richard? Okay, all in favor? Okay, that is unanimous vote, thank you. Next item is 5B, discuss and vote on amended resolution authorizing the superintendent to apply for a staff development day waiver for 25-26 and 26-27 school years. Matthew?
Correct, yeah. So we voted on this last month, and TEA sent it back. We can only do 2 years now, not 3 years. So our resolution was for 3 years, so TEA kicked it back. So now we're asking for an amendment to reduce it to the current school year that's about to pass, and for the next school year. Again, this is for staff development waiver days, so we can receive funding while teachers are receiving staff development.
That makes sense. Questions? Okay, so we're voting on this again, right? Okay, do I
Correct.
have a motion to accept the amended resolution?
I'll make a motion to accept the amended resolution.
Okay, Ben, do I have a second? Sharon? All in favor? Unanimous vote, thank you. Next item is 5D. Discuss and vote on a resolution removing authorized signers from Frost Bank accounts effective June 30th. It looks like we're removing Dr. Michelle Rosa and Dr. Leanna Pesta.
So since I will be retiring and Dr. Pesto will be leaving, We need to have different signers on that account.
Do we have signers now?
Yes, we have. So Frost Bank account is our current checking account. We are changing over to Texas Capital. So later on in the agenda, there is a resolution to add a couple more check signers. But right now, we do have 2 check signers for the Frost account as we're working to close that down.
I'm sorry, Dad, I moved too far ahead.
Okay. Do I have a motion to accept the resolution removing the signers from Frost Bank? Sharon, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Ben? Okay, it's been motioned and second. All in favor? Okay, unanimous vote, thank you. Next item, discuss and vote on resolution removing authorized representative from text pool account, removing Dr. Rosa's effective June 30th.
Correct. TextPool is our money market account that we have open, and so we had to change to remove Dr. Rosa due to her retirement.
Oh, any questions? Matthew? Okay. Do I have a motion to accept the resolution removing the authorized signers?
I'll move that we accept the resolution removing the authorized representative from the accounts.
Okay, thank you, Ben. Do I have a second? Sharon, all in favor? Okay, motion passes. Unanimous, thank you. Next is to discuss and vote on a resolution adding authorized signers to Texas Capital account. So that's Danita Garcia, elementary principal, and Misty Morgan, our chief academic officer.
That is correct. Yeah, we're adding the 2 additional signers for our Texas Capital Bank account due to the addition of our elementary principal, Donita, and Misty, our chief academic officer.
Who else is on there, Matthew? You? and-
Myself, Midge,
Okay,
and Rory.
okay. Okay,
I'll make a motion that we approve the resolution authorizing, adding the authorized signers.
okay, do I have a second? Hassan, all in favor? Motion passes, unanimous, thank you. Okay. Okay, next on our agenda, I have discuss and vote on a resolution honoring Dr. Michelle Rosas. So as you all know, tonight is Dr. Rosas' last board meeting with us. And before I read this resolution, I do want to take a moment to recognize you, Dr. Rosas, and thank you for your time here and the work that you've put in and your dedication to the school. And it's my honor to read this resolution that we will all sign here in a little bit. Honoring the service of Dr. Michelle Rosa upon her retirement, whereas Dr. Michelle Rosa has served as superintendent of NYOS Charter School, providing guidance and direction during an important period in the school's history. And whereas since joining NYOS, Dr. Rosa's worked to advance the mission of NYOS Charter School and support the success and well-being of its students. Whereas Dr. Rosa's embraced and supported the unique educational model and core values of NYOS, working to strengthen the school while preserving the qualities that make it distinctive. And whereas Dr. Rosa's collaborated with the board of directors, school leadership, faculty, staff, family, and community partners in support of NYOS and its continued growth. And whereas Dr. Rosas has announced her retirement effective June 30th, 2026, concluding a distinguished career in public education. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Directors of NYOS Charter School hereby expresses its sincere gratitude and appreciation to Dr. Michelle Rosa for service and contributions to the NYOS community. Be it further resolved that the board recognizes Dr. Rosa's impact on the school and extends its best wishes for health, happiness, and fulfillment in your retirement. Thank you again, Dr. Rosas. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
And now it's your last superintendent update, I guess.
Thank you very much.
Are you giving it, or is Matthew? Superintendent update? Oh, do we vote on the resolution? Oh, okay, good. Okay, so do I have a motion to vote on the resolution honoring Dr. Michelle Rosa?
I'll make a motion that we adopt the resolution honoring Dr. Michelle Rosas on her retirement.
Thank you, Ben. Do I have a second? Hassan, second. Okay, it's been motioned and properly second. All in favor? Thank you, board members. That's a unanimous vote. Okay, superintendent update.
All right, thank you. So we just have a couple of items to do the update with, if you'll advance to the next slide. So I did want to talk about safety compliance. So required for NYOS Charter School, we are required to have annual drills. We have to have a secure, 1 per campus, lockdown, 2, 1 each semester, evacuation, shelter in place, and a fire evacuation, 4 per year. The state expectations do state that drills must follow the Texas School Safety Center guidance. They must be age appropriate. Districts can conduct after-action reviews, and accommodations must be incorporated with students with disabilities. So I'm happy to report that we have completed the annual drills as specified. So we have completed 2 secure drills, 3 lockdowns, and I do have a note that says that 1 of these was district-wide, so if you really want to count, it's 4. And then 1 each per campus the next semester. And then 2 evacuations, 2 shelter-in-places, and we have completed 10 fire evacuations.
And Matthew, does that start over at the beginning of the school year, or
It
is
does.
that?
It starts over in July, so
Okay.
when we return to school. Yep.
What is the breakdown of the fire evacuations for secondary and elementary? Do you know?
I don't have it off the top of my head, but it was an equal number. Yeah.
Okay, any other questions for Matthew? Do we go to the next slide, Matthew?
Yeah. So I cannot do the reflections on the superintendent.
Okay.
So that one is for Michelle.
Mine died.
No.
Oh, there we go. I just want to briefly share a letter that I gave to our board president tonight and wanted to share out loud. So members of the board and our community, what an honor and a privilege it's been to serve as the superintendent of NYOS for the past 2 years. I'm grateful for the opportunity to work alongside such dedicated students, families, staff, and board members. As I conclude my tenure, I'd like to share a few reflections on what we've accomplished together and what I believe will be important priorities for the future. When I arrived in June of 2024, NYOS had recently completed an exciting expansion, nearly doubling enrollment while emerging from the challenges of the pandemic. Rapid growth brings tremendous opportunities, but it also creates complexities that are not always visible from the outside. Schools often find themselves responding to immediate needs while simultaneously building systems and foundations required for long-term success. Even amid those challenges, NYOS remained an extraordinary place. As a nationally recognized charter system, a level 4 high reliability school organization, and a school with long-standing wait lists, NYOS has much to celebrate. Most importantly, it is home to outstanding students, supportive families, caring staff members, and one of the most engaged and representative school boards in Texas. Like all of us, I'd love for NYOS to be an A-rated school district in every measure. We're not there yet, but we have made meaningful progress. Over the past 2 years, we've strengthened the stability of our elementary campuses and secondary, and significantly increased teacher certification rates and focused on building teacher capacity through support, coaching, and recognition. These efforts have positioned the district well for continued academic growth. At the secondary level, I'm especially proud of the strong gains of students that our students achieved in Algebra 1 and English 2. These results reflect the dedication of both our teachers and students and demonstrate what is possible when high expectations are paired with strong support. When I think about what makes NYOS truly exceptional, I return to its commitment to teacher autonomy and professional growth. Few systems continue to invest so intentionally in helping educators refine their craft, and that commitment remains one of the school's greatest strengths. NYOS has never been an ordinary school. From maintaining small class sizes to maximizing every dollar in service of students, the organization has consistently demonstrated an unwavering commitment to children and families. I have been blessed to serve as your superintendent, and I leaving with tremendous confidence in the future of the school community. Though my chapter at NYOS is coming to a close, I will always be one of your biggest supporters and proudest champions. With gratitude, Dr. Rosoff. Thank you. So now I'm going to turn it over to Matthew for the most exciting conversation, which is our compensation committee and what we've come up with for our staff for next year.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Rosa.
Thank you. Yeah, so Compensation Committee has a few recommendations to the school board. So our pay scale, what we would like to do is for eligible teachers and educational assistants, they can advance one step on the current salary schedule. Our medical premiums, we're requesting an increase in medical premiums. So a little bit of history there. TRS has been increasing premiums year over year. And so we are matching the current increase so that the premium costs will remain unchanged for staff from this current school year to the 26-27 school year. We had some public comments about staff half-days, and upon doing some investigation, we did see that when we first implemented staff half-days, we had 7 staff half-days. And then in, I think, 23-24, it changed to 6. And so Compensation Committee would like to request to restore the 7th half-day. And then bereavement leave, we did receive a request to review bereavement leave for the district. And then basically when we looked at local policy, surrounding district policies, and even some of the private sector policies, we're going to keep the bereavement leave as it's currently listed in our policy. And if you will move to the next slide, I have so the step increase for teachers and educational assistants, it does have an increase to our payroll budget by 2%. That's going to be reflected already in the budget that we're going to review later on. And then the medical premium, it does increase payroll budget by just 0.44%. And then just some reflections that I put on the next slide. When we were doing our compensation review, we always review surrounding districts, including Round Rock, Pflugerville ISD, and Austin ISD. Doing that, we realized that we have actually narrowed our gap from 4.5% below market, which is typically where NYOS has fallen in the teacher pay scale, to being just now 0.58% below the market. And this is, of course, supported by the prior board-approved pay scale increases, as well as the increase to state funding. And then teacher incentive allotment. So we have completed our data capture year, and we're on track for eligible teachers to receive their first designation payments in the spring of 26-27, of course, pending TEA approval. And I believe that was the last one.
Okay, we are voting on this compensation plan this evening. Do we have any questions for Matthew before we vote?
Yeah, Matthew, excuse me. TRS increases premiums because healthcare costs are rising, right? Can you give us an idea, like, I know y'all had to make a calculation of, a pay increase versus premium increase. Like, when we add it all together, how much is the total increase, benefits and pay? Do we have a number for that, like, for the average teacher's pay plus benefit increase?
I don't off the top of my head, no. Yeah. Yeah, the premium increase was $40 this year for medical for TRS, and so that's what we did increase. Yeah.
And Matthew, we've always had like a chart that says like this is where you are, this is where you'll be next year. Will the teachers get that
We do typically did that because we change the pay scale every year. So this year, we're not changing the pay scale.
Oh, right.
So it's just moving forward one step based off the year. And I did put eligible on there because there are eligibility requirements. So like you have to be, 90 service days in a school year and so
Oh,
on.
right.
So I don't want to blanket say that everyone's getting a step increase because some people may not qualify.
Okay.
But that's reviewed through the service record request, and HR will
Yeah.
do that breakdown, and we'll reach out to the teachers that may not get that.
All right.
But yeah, that's why we typically would do it, just to show like what the difference is between the current pay scale versus what the new pay scale is plus the step.
Okay.
I see you added the percentages there, but net, we're talking about $300,000 ballpark, right, for the cost to NYOS?
Correct. The cost to NYOS, yes, 2%, but it is $317,000 for the teacher and educational step, and it was $69,000 for the medical increases.
Oh,
Can I ask a question about TIA?
Yes.
So I know that that's formulaic and we don't get to set that, but I know that there are schools around us that are getting a much larger teacher incentive allotment pay per teacher. Can you describe what those differences are? Like, why would a school really close to us be largely different than us in what they're allowed to offer through TIA?
The two big differences is if you're a rural school versus non-rural school. We're considered a non-rural school, and so we fall into that same blanket. So it's set by TIA based off of what step you're receiving, like if you're master's or if you're just recognized. And so the limits, the amounts are pretty much set based off of what your school district is approved as. So a rural district will get more funding versus a non-rural district. That's really the big difference. And then where you land based off of the requirements that we put forward in the TIA application.
But I do want to give kudos to our team. Paul has worked very closely with all of our teaching staff to make sure that I can't say that all of our teachers currently qualify, but he's really worked closely with our principals and with all of our teaching staff to get as many people qualified as possible. And it is about how students are performing plus how you're performing as a teacher. Those are the two big buckets, and making sure that we can identify what is necessary within those buckets to get as many teachers qualified as possible so that you can augment your salary and we can get you those additional dollars. And that's huge kudos to the entire team, because 4 years prior to this, we had been trying every year and had not gotten that TIA designation. So that's a big deal in the scheme of things, because many charters have not been able to get qualified for TIA. So we're excited for that.
Can you give us an idea for those of us that have forgotten what kind of dollars we're talking about?
I would love to say $1 million, but we don't yet know. It will depend on, for example, are you a star graded level? It depends on your performance. There are a lot of variables, but I think as we roll that out next year and we start to see the differentiators, you will start to see those amounts and you'll get a sense of what that's going to look like.
But if I remember correctly, those were real dollars. This wasn't like $100, $200, $500,
Correct,
right?
yeah. It's $3,000 to $10,000.
Thank you. Okay, that's what I...
okay. Do I have a motion to accept the employee compensation plan for 26, 27? So moved. Hassan?
I'll second.
Ben? All in favor? Okay, unanimous vote. Thank you. Motion passes. Next, we will go to Financial Oversight Committee.
Yes, thank you. And
Yeah.
so in terms of attendance, we're always a month behind, right? So this is as of May. So attendance was down just a little bit, but the attendance rate, the monthly average, went up a little bit. The wait list increased a little bit, which is a good thing, even though we still have a number of spots to fill at certain grade levels. But the good news is that the days cash on hand went up by 3 days. So basically in the last month, this was May, right, our cash went up by $140,000. So we're still a little bit below where we started the year at, Hopefully, we'll exceed that by the end of the year. But good news is cash is increasing, so we have over $4 million of cash on hand, which is a lot better than a lot of other districts. And then, with that cash increase, we also increased our net assets by $135,000 in the last month. So hopefully, as we review the budget, you'll see those actual numbers we're projecting by the end of the year. That's it.
Any questions for Hassan? Okay, next item is to discuss and vote on 25-26 amended budget.
And we do have James from DSS online.
Do we have any questions for James, or do we have oh, hey, James.
Oh, wow.
You're
right
talking, but
behind you. That's
I don't
scary.
think I can hear you.
I'm speaking. Can you
Oh,
hear me
okay, I
now?
hear you, yes.
Yeah. No, I was commenting that I'm on the big screen behind you. That's
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't have anything to add to the budget that's being presented. Do we want to? We are asking that we amend the actuals, I believe, and for the final budget for the fiscal year, and presenting the 26-27 budget.
Yeah, so this is the amended budget to close out the year. Do we have any questions for James? If not, then I'll ask for a motion to accept the amended budget. So moved. Hassan, do I have a second? Sharon, okay, all in favor? Okay, motion passes unanimously. And next we will move to discuss and vote on a budget for 26-27. Do we have any questions for the 26-27 budget for James, who is still online? As a reminder, FOC has also reviewed these budgets.
Yeah, that was gonna be, I was gonna ask if FOC could just hit some highlights of what y'all's discussion was like on 26-27.
Now, the biggest discussion that we had was around, how the real attendance was going to fall out, right? So we actually went more conservative, or we asked the administration to be more conservative than the initial budget that was proposed based on just the number of kids enrolled challenges that we had this year. And so, this is where we're actually showing a slight deficit projected for the year, right? So if you're looking at this year's budget, we're showing a surplus of $143,000. So basically, if, the conservative estimate pans out, we're going to be basically, taking that away next year. The good news side, though, since this includes depreciation, is on the cash side, we should increase cash a little bit this year. Did you say $50,000? James, what was the estimated cash increase last year?
This year that we're now ending, you'll increase cash about $200,000, a little more. And next year in the budget, you're projecting a $78,000 increase with your conservative approach.
Say that again, 78,000.
Or next year with your conservative approach
Okay,
to enrollment.
78,000 up or down?
Up.
Okay, so that means we're adding over $300,000 over this year and next year, where in prior years, we've depleted a significant amount of cash. And so, that includes expenses for computer purchases, it includes some facilities costs, includes a grant that we're projecting, or that we've already been awarded that we can apply to things. And so, usually we try not to go negative on this, but again, this is, based on, non-cash, And we're adding cash, which is the key to us obtaining loans, long-term financing, things like that, is the cash. What am I missing, James?
No, I always appreciate your understanding of the cash flow and how important it is for us to get long-term financing, inexpensive financing for the school so that we can continue to grow salaries and put more money into the classrooms.
Right, and we're not just doing it because, we like to have cash sitting around, but at some point, and this is something that we're going to have to do, is whether we call it a reserve study or whatever, is at what point do we replace key components of the school, right? We're already spending, I don't know how much money on air conditioners, which are always going to go out. But roofs, right? We've been messing with building a roof since I've been here in 2005. I mean, it's ongoing, right? And there's going to be bigger things, right? Parking lot repavement. I'm making up a number, $100,000, right? Classroom renovation. So we need to have that cash available from those expenses hit. And so that's why cash is so important, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thanks, Hassan. That was good. Any questions for Hassan or James? Okay. Do I have a motion to accept the budget for 26-27?
So moved.
Hassan, do I have a second? Richard? Okay, all in favor? Okay, unanimous vote. Thank you. Thanks, James. Okay, I'm moving on to the Leadership Transition Committee. So I have an update for the Executive Director search. The Executive Director Search Committee continues to review applications as they are received and is conducting first-round interviews this week. As part of our commitment to gathering stakeholder input, we have a staff forum scheduled this week to hear directly from employees about the qualities and priorities they would like to see in the next executive director or superintendent. The committee is also reviewing the results of the community survey and working with the Family Leadership Council to organize a parent forum similar to the staff forum that's happening this week. We will continue to use community feedback to help inform the search process. And so that is my update.
Can you tell us more about number of applicants, quality of applicants? I mean, what have we seen?
Yeah.
Not a
Hassan,
trick question.
you can do
but-
it too, but yes, we have received about 18 applications, I think, or so. We received the initial. The first couple weeks we received the most, and they're kind of trickling in a little bit. We are reviewing them. We are meeting every week. The committee is meeting every week. Like I said, we are reviewing their backgrounds and also keeping in mind what our community wants. So that's why the community forums are very important to us, because we of course have the community in mind when picking our next leader of the school. We've had some really great applicants, and I'll add that they say wonderful things about our school, which is great to hear about our community and the families that we have here and what makes us so special. And it's been a great reminder for me on why we serve on the board and why I love seeing our community here, even at the board meetings in the summer. So thank you all for being here. We look forward to the next chapter in NYOS. Yeah, thanks, Hassan. Any other questions? Okay. The school board will convene an executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.074 and 551.082 to hear a level 3 grievance appeal from a NYOS parent. There will be no action in closed session. The time is now 6:45 p.m. present. And the board now reconvenes into open session. The time is now 7:38 p.m. Let the record reflect that no action took place in closed session. Do I have a motion?
I'm gonna make a motion that we uphold the level 2 decision.
Do I have a second? Hassan? Okay, all in favor? Okay, unanimous vote. Thank you. Next item on our agenda is our next board meeting, which is July 14th. I know that we have the student parent handbook. We took that off for today, so we'll be looking at that. I don't have anything else really on my list, but we will have a full board meeting next month.
Will we be seating new members at that meeting?
Oh yeah, we'll have the new board members here. We'll also do officer elections, so that's another thing. Think about that, board members.
Are we,
We'll do committees.
will we get a red line handbook with changes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Hassan? Richard, all in favor? Unanimous. We are adjourned at 7:39 p.m.